Hey teachers, I'm going to show you how to embed a Google Doc into a Canvas test question. Sometimes you may have graphs or diagrams, even sometimes images that are embedded within a Google Doc, and you don't want to embed any kind of PDF or try to play around with images here. You just want to use the material that you already have. So we're going to go ahead and do that. The first thing I'm going to need to do is to go over to the doc that I want to embed. In this case, it's this test figures doc here, and I'm going to click on this that says File, and then I'm going to click on Publish to the Web. When I do that, we're going to embed this, and we're going to be brought to a button that says to publish. We're going to get a confirmation dialog there, and then we're going to come up with some HTML code. We will need all of this code, so I'm just going to copy all of it. And then I'm going to go over here to Canvas, and we're going to start a new question. So when I click on new question, I'm going to be brought to the rich text editor. This is going to be useful for us to put in some fancy text, just to say, what are we looking at? So anyhow, that right there is going to be in the rich text editor, and you'll be able to read that in Canvas. We're going to change this just over to an essay question. It's kind of a short answer, but nonetheless, this will work. The next thing we're going to do is to go over here to the HTML editor, because if we were to copy and paste that text into this box right now, it's not going to work. So let's go ahead and click that. And then I'm going to drop down below it just a couple of spaces, and then I'm going to paste the text. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. All right. So the next thing I've got to do is to go right here behind this right-facing arrow behind the true, and in front of or behind that quotation mark right there behind the true, and I'm going to put a space there. So we've got to put some dimensions in here. If we don't put dimensions in here, this thing is going to show up looking like a postage stamp, and you don't want your students to have to scroll around to see an image like that. So we need to give it dimensions. We're going to give it a width, and we're going to give it a height. So let's go ahead, width, and we're going to make that width equal to 800. Most Google Docs are going to be equal to about 800 pixels in width. And then we're going to need to put a height to it. Now, typically a Google Docs page is somewhere around 1500 pixels in height. I don't necessarily want to put the full page in here, so in this case, I'm just going to put my height equal to, say, 500, and I need to put the 500 in quotations. So this is what your dimensions are going to look like right here. It has to appear exactly like this. It has to be this exact syntax, or it's not going to render properly. Then the last thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and put update question in here. So do the update question, and now you will see that this Google Doc has just embedded into this question. I've got my actual question up here, and then when I go over here to this says not published, so I'm just going to click on save, and then I'm going to jump over here and preview the test, which I have put in an image up here, and now I've put in a Google Doc right here, and you'll notice that that Google Doc is looks just as good as the image. So, and by the way, if you update that Google Doc in the background in about 5 minutes, you can come back and that Google Doc will be updated. All of this right here would be updated. So this is a really good way to put in material for which you don't want to have to go back and constantly be rewriting questions. Also, you don't want to have to upload an image or anything like that. It just goes directly in. It takes a little knowledge of HTML in order to do this, but once again, it's a very convenient way for you to give test material. So that's how you embed a Google form into a Canvas test question. Thank you very much for watching.